मॉर्निंग ब्रदर्स और यू अभी बहुत कम लोग आए हो. Only 6 people have come. Please send a message so that in another 3 minutes everybody comes online. Another 2 minutes we'll start. Are you able to see the screen? Shushi? Hello? Are you able to see the screen? Unit 3 data preparation for analysis. Are you able to see? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Another 2 minutes we'll start this data preparation. Okay, let's slowly start this so that others can join. So, data preparation for analysis, that's a big data unit 3. So, these are the introduction, objective, need for data preparation. So, you know, data cleaning, data integration, data reduction, data transformation, selection and data extraction, data curation, step to data curate, importance of data curation, data integration, how you integrate the techniques, various techniques and all that, data integration approaches. Then comes knowledge discovery. You know, you would have learned that from data you get information, from information you get the knowledge, from knowledge you get the wisdom. So these are the link up data, information, knowledge, wisdom. So we'll go up to knowledge discovery, and knowledge discovery gives you wisdom to act, to take any decision which you want to take. Right? So let's see the this on the previous units, you have introduced the basic concept of condition probability, Bayes theorem, probability distribution, binomial, and normal distribution. Now, here we want to see how the data quality, how you prepare the data, how you extract the data, and how you curate and integrate the data. And then go to knowledge discovery. So need for data preparation, you know there is a need. There is so much of data comes up now with all the Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, everywhere. So the data is there. It is structured, semi-structured. We have seen all these things, and all type of data is there. So, and you know, ultimately, knowledge is the power. The knowledge brings the intelligence to do the job. So that's important. So the data itself has no value until unless it's converted to knowledge. This. That's why. So there now this is what the data is. Data quality is completeness, accuracy, timeliness, consistency, validity, and uniqueness. So this is the data quality is represented by these six terms. That is what it should be complete. Missing data should be introduced. Wrong data should be corrected, and so on, so forth. It should be accurate. It should be timely available. It should be consistent. It should be validity should be done, and it should be unique. That's the data. So accuracy, data must be true and reflect this. It should be complete. Degree to which the data is complete determines how well it can provide this. Is now if you take the total population from there, you have to collect the sample data. The sample data should represent the complete population. It shouldn't be only representing one part of the population. Consistency, data consistency, the homogeneity of the data across applications, network, and all that. Timeliness, data that is timely is readily available. That should be there. When you want the data, it should be readily available so that you can take a decision on that. Uniqueness is defined as the lack of duplicate or redundant data across all data sets. The collection should contain zero duplicate record. There should be duplicate record at all. That's all. Validity data must be obtained in compliance with the firm's defined business policies and guidelines. The data should adhere to the appropriate recognized format, and all data set value should be within the defined range. So this is what is there. So yeah, that the data is there, different characters are there, all the things are to be there that you can go through this system. So incomplete data can be caused by variety of circumstances. Certain properties such as customer information for sales transaction data might not always be available accessible. For example, I give you an example. Then in IMD, we were dealing with the various observatories over the hilly area. There was a Nepali uh, soldier who retired, was also made the observer for that observatory. Now, the instruction was sent in Nepali that if there is a rain, he can carry the umbrella. That is, he can. But what he will do it, he was so strict about the instruction. Whenever there is rain, he will put the umbrella over the rain gate and stay there. And the result is he will report zero rain. That's again a funny thing. That is what we observed. Then we had to tell him, no, you have rain umbrella for your purposes, not for the rain gauge purposes. That's what we had to tell him. So that's it. Data preparation. This is the deep data pre-processing, data cleaning, data integration, data transformation, data reduction. This is the data preparation, 4 steps. It's a, pre-processing is done in 4 steps. Then data cleaning, this is missing value creating. So cleaning is there, is essential step in data pre-processing. It also referred to as scrubbing. जैसे स्क्रब करते हो क्लीन करते हो इट इज क्रूशल फॉर कंस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ गुड मॉडल द स्टेप that required what frequently overlooked by everyone is data cleaning. So that's important. So missing values that should be there. As you point out, numerous tuple ऐसे जैसे मैंने बताया को Nepali person soldier was taking umbrella and giving zero rainfall. That again should be avoided. For number of characteristics, including somebody is reporting in inches, somebody is reporting in centimeters. So that again has to be taken care of this. So ignore tuples. Typically, this is carried out on absence of class level, assuming the task involves classification. This method is particularly detrimental when such attributes has a significant different percentage of missing value. By disregarding the remaining characteristics in tuple, we avoid using these values. Manually enter the omitted values. Uh, If there are some values omitted, so strategy is time consuming and might not be practical for huge data set with a substantial number of missing values. Fill up the blank with global constant. अगर ब्लैंक है तो उसको जनरल मीन लेके कर लो, लार्ज डेटा का मीन लेके कर लो. To fill in the missing values, use a measure of attributes, central tendency such as mean or median. For all samples that belong to the same class as specified tuple as the mean or median. So that's again here. Fill in the blank with values that is most likely to be there. This result can be reached using regression, inference-based technique used from Bayes formulation, all type of thing you should do, because the missing data at some point it is very important. Noisy data. Noise is the disturbance, variance, and random error in measuring a variable. It is possible to recognize outliers, which might be noise, implying tools, etc. Bidding, bidding technique smooth sorted data value by looking at their neighborhood. पास में क्या है, इधर क्या है. लेकिन देखो, दिल्ली itself is a huge city. रेंज पर बारिश बहुत हो रही है, यहाँ बारिश कम हो रही है, हमारे मेरिट में बारिश कम हो रही है. So that type of things are there. So when it is done for Delhi, it has to be sorted out various places in Delhi. That's what it says. Look at the values surrounding. When smoothing by him means each value in the bin is changed to the bin mean value. As an illustration, suppose a bin contains three numbers, 4, 8, 15. The average of these three numbers is 9. So, consequently, the value 9 replaces each of the bin origin value. That's what is. So, mean, median, all these are. Regression. Regression is a method of adjusting the data values to a function and may also be used to smooth out the data. That's again regression is. Outlier analysis. Clustering, for instance, the grouping of comparable values into clusters can be used to identify outliers. It makes sense to classify values that are outlier as being outside the set of the cluster. And data discretization, data transformation and data reduction technique is extensively used, data smoothing technique and all that. So you can read all these things that you will see this. So data cleaning, remove duplicate, fix structure errors, manage unwanted outliers, handle missing data, validate and question the method of data cleaning, ignore the tuple, fill in the missing value, bidding method, regression, clustering, all these things. So data integration, again, entity identification problem. Data integration which gathers data from several sources into coherent data source like data warehouse will likely be required for your data analysis project. Several examples of these sources include various database, data clubs, data queues, and flat files. So all these are important. You see, you can read this. Redundancy and correlation analysis. So you know what is correlation, you know how to analyze it and all that. So redundancy, you are to do. Tuple duplication. Duplication should be identified at the tuple level in addition to being caught between attributes. That's all. Data value conflict detection and resolution that you should do. Data reduction. In this phase, data is trimmed. The number of records, attributes, and dimensions are reduced. अगर n dimension को n minus 1 dimension या कम dimension बनाना है वो कर सकते हैं. Dimension reduction is important. Numerosity reduction is also important. And transformations are used for data compression to create a condensed or compressed version of the original data. Lossless data compression is used when the original data can be recovered from the compressed data without any information being lost. So that's what is there. Data discretization, it is regarded as a component of the data reduction. Its natural qualities take the place of numerical value. By converting value to intervals or concept level, data discretization alters numerical data. These techniques enable data analysis at various levels of granularity. So you can read this. Data transformation, smoothing, attribute construction, aggregation, normalization, discretization, concept hierarchy. These are the various important questions. So you can see the various questions with them. Then comes the selection and data extraction. You have to be selective. So the process of choosing the best data source, data type, and collection tool is known as data selection. Prior to starting the actual data collection procedure, data selection is conducted. This concept makes a distinction between selective data reporting, excluding data that is not supportive of a study promise, and active inactive data selection using obtained data for monitoring activity in this industry. So this you can go through that you can do that. Data selection issue. When choosing data, researchers should be conscious of few things, including researcher can appropriately respond to the stated research question when the right type and appropriate data source are used. Appropriate method for obtaining representative samples are used. The appropriate tools for gathering data are used. These are the important things for any research because after all, data is going to be used for all type of research or production or taking decision, what criteria, what things you should do. Quantitative data are expressed as numerical measurement at the interval and ratio line. So qualitative data can take the form. हम पहले ही बताया था टेस्ट इमेज म्यूजिक एंड वीडियो क्या है मूवी है अब नेट जो नेटफ्लिक्स में मूवी देते हैं न्यू मूवी ओल्ड मूवी एंड ऑल दैट देन A category, U category, AU category, and all that for age 16 plus, this and all that. That type of questions is there, sir. So, what is the research question? We should know what are the investigation field of study according to literature, prior research. What kind of information should be gathered? Which form of the data, qualitative, quantitative, or a combination of both, should be considered. So that is the data extraction and ETL. ETL helpful quickly access the ETL process and all that. So these are the data extraction tools, scraps from Alter, Monarch, Clippa, in no next one. You just go through that. You will see ScrapStorm, one data extraction tool you may consider in the ScrapStorm. It is software that uses AI to scrap the web. So AI is introduced here. So this when transferring extracted data in Excel, MongoDB, CSV, HTML, TXT, MySQL, SQL, server, etc., etc. So you can see that all these things are important. Kilpa, Alter Monarch. Monarch is desktop-based, self-service, and doesn't require any programming. Whereas Clippa, it again has a file type, PDF, JPG, PNG, and all these things are there. Then Node Excel, again for Microsoft Excel 2007, 2010, 13, 16, etc. So these are the data curation which we have curating the data. Data curation is creating, organizing, and managing data set so that the people looking for information can access and use them. It comprises compiling, arranging, indexing, and categorizing data for users inside of a company. So that's what you can do that. So step of data, there are various steps given here. The data that will be required for the proposal analytical application should be determined, map the data set, and note the metadata that goes with them, collect the data sets. The data should be ingested into a system, etc., etc. You can see that. And importance of data curation, that's again you can see that help to organize pre-existing data, etc. So all these things you can read. It's just statements are given, so you can just see that statements are important, and you should know that statement. If there is any problem, we can discuss it. Data integration, we say data, how to combine the data of various sources. To create coherent data storage by combining the data from several sources. So that's again how you can have data combining from various sources, and you have to find out how accurately they are, how this is they are. That, for example, European data and Indian data and Pakistani data and Burma data. All these have to go with classification of how much accurate they are, how much they are doing, which unit they are doing. So all these have to be taken care. Data integration technique, manual techniques are there, middleware techniques are there. So these are the thing, data integration approaches. There are two basic data integration approaches. These are tight coupling. It combines data from many sources into a single physical location unit, ETL, extraction, transformation, and loading. So loose coupling, the real source database are the most efficient place to store facts with loose coupling. So what is what is meant by data integration? So you should know that. And what is the example of data integration? What is the purpose of data integration? You should know that. Now comes knowledge discovery. That's the final thing which is required of the data. Knowledge discovery is database is the process of obtaining pertinent knowledge from a body of data. Knowledge discovery, KDD, knowledge discovery from data. This well-known knowledge discovery method includes several processes such as data preparation, selection, data cleaning, incorporating prior knowledge about the data set, and interpreting precise answer from the observed result. Marketing, fraud detection, all these things are there. KDD application area, क्या कहाँ use करना है, that's what it is. Steps of knowledge discovery, develop an understanding of the application domain. Knowledge discovery starts with the preliminary steps. It establishes the framework for selecting the best course of action for a variety of options, such as transformation, algorithm, representation, etc. Then individual is a charge of KDD project. He should know the as well environment in which the knowledge discovery purpose will be required. What for you are needing it. So that again solving and producing the data set that will be used for discovery, selecting once the objective have been specified, the data that will be used for the knowledge discovery process should be identified. So you have to identify what data is given. So you can read these things. Is that preparation and cleaning? Again, that's the important thing. Pre-processing and cleaning is the important thing in all that. So that's we have already seen this. Data transformation we have seen. Prediction and description we have seen. Deciding on knowledge discovery algorithm. We now choose the strategies after determining the technique. In this step, a specific technique must be chosen to be applied while looking for pattern with numerical indication. If precision and understandings are compared, the former is improved by neural network, while the decision tree improves the later. These are numerous ways that each meta learning system could be successful. Again, you see, you are talking of AI being utilized in the data. That in the end, you will see machine learning as a basic tool. But here you see neural net and all these things we are talking about, which are important for use for this and all that. So, as a result, the methodology seeks to comprehend the circumstances in which the data analysis algorithm is most effective Every algorithm has parameters and learning techniques, including tenfold cross validation or a different division for training and this. Utilizing the data analysis algorithm. Finally, the data analysis algorithm is put into practice. The approach might need to be applied several times before producing a suitable outcome at this point. For instance, by rotating the algorithm, you can alter variables like the bare minimum of instances in a single decision tree leaf. So evaluation, check your progress and all that, and then you summarize it. So these are the things which you have seen. How you data pre-processing of the data is important, cleaning of the data is important, curation, integration, all these are important. Then ultimately, for knowledge discovery, how which algorithm you are going to use depends on what application you are having in mind. So application domain है कि developing and understanding of the application domain is the knowledge discovery के लिए बहुत important है. So then selecting and producing the data set that will be used for discovery, preparation and cleaning, pre-processing cleaning, data transformation, prediction and description, and so on and so forth. These are the important questions of this. Any question of this, what we have studied so far on this unit? Yes? Do you understand? Do you know that there is a link of data, information, knowledge, and wisdom? So that's where we have talked about data, information, and knowledge discovery. And from knowledge discovery, you take all the necessary action for taking any decision you want to take. Is it okay? बोलिए Sushi, are you with me or hello?
Yes, sir.
Are you able to understand what we are talking? Is it clear? बोलिए
Clear, sir, clear.
No, going back. Okay, then we'll shall we take 5 minutes rest and then go to the next unit, or you want to straight away go to the next unit? You are ready? You know next unit also because you have seen all the things. Next unit is data visualization and interpretation. So you have all type of histogram, box plots, scatter diagram, and all these things. Shall we continue or wait for 5 minutes? Hello?
Keep continue, sir.
Continue. Okay. Data visualization and interpretation. So there are number of questions here raised, introduction, objective, different types of plots, histogram, box plot, scatter plots, heat plot, bubble chart, bar chart, distribution plots, pair plots, line graph, pie chart, donut chart, area chart, and then summarize it. So this is the one which we are talking about it. So this is the how do you details of the different aspects of the data analysis is the basically having various charts is properly required for the analysis of this. After going through the unit, you will be able to explain the key characteristics of various type of plots of our data visualization because you want to visualize the data, how you should visualize, how the data should be visualized, explain how to design and create data visualization, summarize and present the data in a meaningful way, define appropriate methods for collecting, analyze, and interpreting this numerical information. So this we are looking into different type of plots. So as more and more data are available to us today, you know we have talked already that data has become big, so that within 2 days you collect as much of data as earlier you were getting in probably years. So your centuries of data of meteorology or archaeology is done in a few hours here in WhatsApp and tutors and whatnot and all that. So copy and now will nearly doubled by 2025. Several varieties of charts and graphs, so it's almost doubling every time, encouraging the group to act proactively, showcasing progress toward the goal to stakeholder, displaying core values of company or an aggression to the audience. So basically, you want now you talk of India is growing faster than the rest of the world. How do you show it? You show it by taking the total GDP of the country and then saying the GDP of other countries. How do you get it? So that's what is a combined thing. Similarly, for weather, you get WMO collects the information for all the countries, the weather information, and then passes on this. That's where the lot of things are come. Now, how you represent it is by histogram. Histograms are constructing histogram. How you construct a histogram? The data is grouped into specific class interval or bins and plotted along the x-axis. These represent the range of the data. Then the rectangles are constructed with their base along the interval for each class. The height of these rectangles is measured along the y-axis, representing the frequency for each class. So it's a two-way representation. Use case, distribution of salaries in an organization. सारे स्टाफ की सैलरी की आप हिस्टोग्राम बनाना चाहते हो, तो ज्यादा सैलरी वाले का हाई हो जाएगा, कम वाले कम होता जाएगा एंड ऑल दैट. Then distribution of height in one batch of students of a class. Tallest person will be shown there, small person will be shown there, and all person will be there. Best practice. Analyze various data groups. The best data groups can be found by creating a variety of histograms. Break down compartments using colors. The same chart can display a second set of categories by coloring this. So, types of histogram, normal distribution histogram. ये this is, for example, frequency दिया हुआ है 36 to 38 to 40 to 15, 46, 48, 18, so on so forth. So आप इसको plot करा, ये हो गया. So you see, this is plotted uh, 36, 38, 38, 40, 40 to 42, 40 to 44, 40 to 46. These are the top. This there you see 19, 15, 42 to 44, 46, 48, 19 and 15. So that's where ये ठीक नहीं बना हुआ. ये दोनों 46, 48 नहीं ठीक डर बना हुआ है इसमें. 46, 48 ठीक नहीं बना हुआ, उसको बढ़ा के बनाना चाहिए था. 46, 48 is 19 compared to 15, 42, 45. ये थोड़ा गलत बना हुआ है. So you see 46, 48 should be going up and this should go down and this should go up also. So that type of thing is there. So by model distribution, ये देखो 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is shown 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I see this is the bimodal distribution. Right skewed distribution. Here this is the data on the left hand. This is put on this. So you see x पर वो एक this is x axis पर लगा लो, left वाला x axis पर लगा लो, right पर y axis पर लगा लो. Left skewed ये so combine कर दिया है. So edge peak distribution, this is a peak, this is a peak and so on. Edge peak, ये peak है and this peak is there. This peak is represented. Comb distribution, ये कोब डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन है. हिस्टोग्राम फॉर पॉपुलेशन डेटा, ये पॉपुलेशन डेटा आ गया. एज ग्रुप इतने, इतना है, इतना है, इतना है, इतना है. सो दिस इज टोटल 86. ये देखिए 86 क्या हो गया, 23, 18 दिस एंड दैट. So total will be always 86. Okay. Is that all right? You understand? You can make histogram, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, this is also a histogram. So you make the histogram from this and all that. You can do the experiment there. Now comes box plot. Box plots are in the box you are plotting. So this is the data. English, mathematics, science, examination क्या है, तो इसको बॉक्स प्लॉट करना है, ये बॉक्स प्लॉट हो जाएगा. इंग्लिश का ये सेपरेट हो गया, इंग्लिश का ये हो गया, मैथमेटिक्स का ये हो गया, साइंस का ये हो गया, इकोनॉमिक्स का ये हो गया. तो दैट्स marks are marks distribution are different class के. Section B, Section A, Section C. Section C is more intelligent here in English. Section A is more intelligent in mathematics. Section C is more intelligent in science. Section A is more intelligent in economics. So that's what it comes out. High marks they take it and all that. So box plot clearly shows that section B has performed poorly in English. Section B has performed very poorly in English, whereas Section C has performed poorly in mathematics. Section C has performed poorly in mathematics, and Section A has mostly balanced performance, but the marks on the students are most dispersed. So that's it. Then scatter plots. Scatter plots can be just like this. A scatter diagram, like you have the linear regression equation when you're plotting x, y, z, all with the graph, and then mean say एक line लगा दो, that becomes the scatter plots of the mean diagrams. So that represents the whole approximately diagram. Relation between the temperature and the sale of ice cream. Naturally, when the temperature increases, more ice cream will be sold. When it is cold, so ice cream will be less sold. But I don't know, because some people in Moscow, when temperature is -10, taking ice cream is taken very clearly, and then you can see it in England also. So I don't know if it is true or something, but anyway, it's there. Heat map. This is heat maps are two-dimensional graphics that show data trends through color, so shading and all that. वो ये देखिए, ये ऐसा हो जाता है. ये देखिए, अब 50, 50, 50 है, 83 है. So different color, जो ये कम कलर के हैं, येलो उसके ऊपर है, जो ग्रीन है सबसे ज्यादा है, और 90 से ऊपर जो है वो ग्रीन है, एंड 60 के ऊपर ये ऑरेंज है, 50 के ऊपर ये है दिस वन. सो दैट टाइप ऑफ थिंग, कलर से डिफरेंट, सो दैट यू कैन शो. जैसे आप इंडिया के मैप में बताते हो हीट कहाँ ज़्यादा हो रहा है, हीट कहाँ कम हो रहा है, सो ऑन. सो दैट कहीं बर्फ पड़ रहा है तो कहीं हमारे तो इंडिया में तो सब हो रहा है, एक तरफ बर्फ पड़ रहा है, एक तरफ बहुत गर्मी पड़ रही है. So that you can see on Tamil Nadu, there could be 40 degrees plus, and on Ladakh, it could be -40 degrees. So that's where you can see the temperature difference of 80 degrees from Tamil Nadu to Ladakh. So that type of, so -40 plus 40, that's it. Or 40 से बढ़ भी सकता है. Okay, so that you can see this. Bubble chart. Bubble chart is the represented construction of bubble chart is just these are the bubble chart. ये देखिए bubble chart है, जितना बड़ा है bubble उसमें से वो बताता है कितने distribution है. So that 1200 has 32%. So that's why 1200 has been shown as big block. Similarly, this is a big block. This is a number of units sold is something like 600 plus. Uh, ये 645. So ये 16,000 25% हो जाता है, because this is also 25% is higher than the 18, 9, 12 and this and all that. 32% is the highest, and 21% is next. 33%, 35%. This is the highest. You get 33%, 35% is highest. This is highest one. These are the big block, one, two, three, four. One is near 300, 400, 300, 400, 325. This is 32%. So 22%. So that's where it is there. So, and 1130 is 18%. That's where 1130 is 18%. तो कम हो जाता है, यहाँ पर 18% है, ये छोटा वाला ब्लॉक हो जाता है. So that you can see the block are covering the area depending on how much it is talking about it. So you can read this and then calculate this. Add color, overlay bubbles on map. From bubbles, a viewer can immediately determine the relative concentration of data. These are used as an overlay to provide the viewers with context for geographically related data, right? Bar charts. Bar chart can be just like this. These are the bar charts. Two colors and three colors are there. Two colors are there. This is baseball athletes and all that. So that type of thing. There are boys and girls. Girls को color दिया हुआ है कि girls are more. है? Color क्या दिया है? Vertical bar chart. A vertical chart displays vertical bars on graph. These rectangular bars in a vertical orientation represent the measurement of this. X's are represented. For example, year, number of police officer. Okay, that's the one here. But yeah, boys are more. So the boys are more, girls are less. So that deep green is girls, and light green is boys. So that's right. So this is again bar chart, group bar chart. ये ग्रुप बार चार्ट है, जैसे वो भी दो था, ये भी दो है. इसमें ग्रुप है, एक बॉयज एंड गर्ल्स आर देयर. This was also group chart, boys and girls. This is also group chart. Region sale by region. Different north, south, west, east कर दिया है. Different color दे दिए है and all that. When should we use bar chart? What are different type of charts? Bar chart, what are the vertical bar chart, dry, historical, horizontal bar chart, so on and so forth. Month, January, February bar chart. So that type of thing which is there. Distribution plot, the constructing a distribution plot. You must utilize one or two dimensions together with one measure in a distribution plot. You will get a single line visualization if you only use one dimension. If you use two dimensions, each value of the outer second dimension will produce a separate line. So distribution block will be made like this. A है sales 1 2000, number of clients. ये single sale, this single slot आ गया. पेयर प्लॉट आ जाता है. इसमें पेयर प्लॉट ये दो चीजें हैं. इसमें पेयर प्लॉट ये आ गया, पेयर प्लॉट्स है ये. दोनों को इसमें आई कैंट रीड इट, क्या है, हाँ, रेटिंग, कैलोरीज, फैट, फाइबर, प्रोटीन, सोडियम, ये सारा जो है डबल स्ट्रोक, डबल पेयर से हो गया, उसमें सारा दिया हुआ है, सब डिटेल दिया हुआ है, sodium, fiber, folic, this and all that. लाइन ग्राफ, ये लाइन ग्राफ है जो सिंपल मल्टीपल लाइन ग्राफ, दिस इज मल्टीपल लाइन ग्राफ, कंपाउंड लाइन ग्राफ, ये कंपाउंड लाइन ग्राफ है, so this is the different colors and all that. So this is, for example, time, number of cars, buses, bikes, 2 to 3 is this, 3 to 4 p.m. is this. So that time देखिए 2:30 p.m. ये उसमें सारा कार, बस, बाइक बताया हुआ है. So that type of thing covers up with the thing. Number of cars are there, number of buses there, number of bikes are there. कंस्ट्रक्टिंग ए लाइन ग्राफ, उसको कंस्ट्रक्ट करना है और ये लाइन ग्राफ बनाना है, नॉर्थ, साउथ, वेस्ट, ईस्ट. Dry line chart from this pie chart, the wonderful thing. पाई चार्ट ये होता है, ये देखो, उसमें कैट्स 38%, डॉग्स 41%, बर्ड्स 16%, रेप्टाइल 3% एंड 2%. ये 3% और 2% हो गया, ये 38% है और ये 41% है. That is, cats are 38%, dogs are 41%, birds are 16%, 3% are reptiles, and 2% are small mammals, other small mammals. So mammal जो है जो अपने बच्चों को दूध पिलाते हैं, that type. Then expanded pie chart, ये देखिए, ये expanded owners, this cat, dog, this, and these are the owners percentage and all that. Pie of pie, ये पाई of pie कहते हैं इसको, इसको बढ़ा के ऐसे कर दिया कि इसको डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन डबल हो गया, क्योंकि ये स्मॉल मैमल इतने ये है, इतने ये है, स्मॉल मैमल की कंडीशन हो जाती है. तो दिस इज द, इस छोटी सी की डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन इसमें हो गई. अगर 38 डॉग्स क्या करने, कितने डॉग्स, किस टाइप के डॉग है, ऑल दैट कैन अगेन बी ब्रोकन लाइक दिस. बार ऑफ पाई, ये बार ऑफ पाई कर लिया, उसी को डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन हो गया कि उसके दो डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन हो गया और बाद में प्रेजेंट कर दिया. डेफिनेट, अच्छा, कंपनी, ये मार्केट शेयर आ गया है 22%. कंपनी कंपनी ए 24%, कंपनी बी 13%, कंपनी सी 8%, कंपनी डी 33%, कंपनी ई 22%. तो देख लो, 33, 22, 24, 13, 8%, सारा होके 100% हो जाता है. 8, 3, 11, 4, 15, 2, 17, 3, 20, 5, 2, 7, 2, 9, 1, 10. तो इससे 100% हो जाता है ऑल कंपनी, जिससे मार्केट शेयर हो जाता है. डेफिनेट, डेफिनेट में ऐसा होता है, ये डेफिनेट इज लाइक दिस, ये वो से, बट इसको, दिस इज 30%, this is 25%, incomplete is 45%, this is incomplete is 45%, this is 30%, this is 25%, incomplete is 45%. So 5, 5, 10, 5, 2, 7, 10, so 100% हो जाए. ये जो incomplete है, this is work in progress, completed, this is work in progress, this is incomplete still. तो अभी ये काम हो रहा है, यहाँ काम हो रहा है, एरिया चार्ट, ये एरिया चार्ट हो जाता है. Just like we saw that cat and dog and all that. Developing area chart of this. Stacked area chart. The stacked area chart is what is often meant to be conveyed when the phrase area chart is used. So this is stacked area chart. Printer, projectors, write boards. This is printer, this is projector, this is write board. So that type of thing. Example of data structure, this is exactly the same thing. Draw an area chart and all that. So that makes it, covers up whole thing. Histogram ho gaya, all these things are there. So that covers in about 1 hour we have covered 1 hour, few minutes we have covered both the units. I think 2 units are good enough. Take some rest, then we'll do AI. Okay? Or you want to do another unit? You are able to see the screen? Are you able to read it, uninformed and informed search?
Yeah, a bit, sir. A bit, sir.
Is it there?
But your screen is not visible to me.
Okay, okay. So uninformed and informed search is the unit 3. So it has introduction, objective, then it has the various breadth first search, time and space complexity of breadth first search, advantage and disadvantage of breadth first search. Then there is the depth first search, same performance of depth first search, advantage of
Sir, your screen is not visible. So, sorry
hello.
to interrupt you. Yeah, your screen is not. Sorry to interrupt you, sir. Your screen is not visible.
So okay, that just hold on. I'm asking somebody to take care.
All right, sir.
Just wait for 5 minutes.
All right, sir.
हाँ रहीम.
सर आप एड्रेस बता दीजिए जो मैं बताया था नंबर.
स्क्रीन में खोली हुई है लेकिन नजर नहीं आ रही उनको, स्टाफ को, लर्नर को.
सर शेयरिंग हट गया होगा. मुझे वो एनी टेक्स्ट का जो नंबर मैं बताया था ना उसको बता दीजिए. मैच करके
ऑटो रीडर को क्या
एनी टेक्स्ट होगा सर. डेस्कटॉप में एनी टेक्स्ट का रेड कलर का होगा बटन. उसको क्लिक करेंगे तो उसमें नंबर आएगा लिखा हुआ
10222345.
दोबारा सर शुरू से बोलिए.
10222345 237.
एक रिक्वेस्ट गया होगा उसको एक्सेप्ट कर लीजिए.
हैं? एक्सेप्ट.
रिक्वेस्ट गया होगा आपको.
एक्सेप्ट करता हूँ मैं. हाँ
हाँ सर ठीक है अभी मैं कर देता हूँ सर. आप सर छोड़ दीजिए, मैं कर रहा हूँ इधर से।
हैं?
आप छोड़ दीजिए, मैं इधर से कर रहा हूँ।
ओके फाइन। तो आप आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस 224 खोल गया? हाँ
यही है सर ना?
हाँ, ये राइट, दिस वन।
ठीक है सर, उनको दिख रहा होगा, पूछ लीजिए, दिख रहा होगा।
बेटे आप नजर आ रहा है?
जी सर। हाँ जी सर, आ रहा है।
आ रहा है, ओके।
सर आ रहा है।
थैंक यू, थैंक यू, थैंक यू, थैंक यू। ओके, नाउ दिस इज uninformed and informed search. So this is the unit 3. It is depth, breadth first search, BFS, time and space complexity of BFS, then advantages and disadvantages of BFS. Then there is a depth first search, same performance of depth first search, advantage and disadvantage of depth first search, comparison of breadth first search and DFS. So breadth first search और उसमें comparison है. Iterative deepening depth first search, IDDFS. Okay, then time, space, and all these things. Bi-directional search, then heuristic search. Heuristic search is more powerful, but it doesn't have any data and all that. Best first search, greedy best search. Then there is a A-star algorithm, and that's the working of A-star algorithm. Advantage and disadvantage of A-star algorithm. Administrative properties of A-star algorithm. Properties of heuristic algorithm. Result on A-star algorithm. Then problem reduction search, problem definition in and or graph, AO star algorithm, advantage of AO star, memory bound heuristic search, iterative deepening AI, this is IDA star. So iterative deepening. So working for iterative deepening A star search, analysis of deepening A star search, and comparison of A star and IDS. So then last one is recursive best first search. So these are all the different searches, best first search, depth first search, A star search, and all these are there. So that we are discussing. So this is the initial stage and goal. Red is the goal, blue is the initial stage, and then you search different processes and all that. You have already seen the states and all that. So problem solving agent, this is in artificial intelligence, search techniques are universal problem solving methods. Rational agents are problem solving agents. In AI, mostly use these search strategies or algorithms to solve a specific problem and provide the best result. Then one disadvantage of the state space representation is that it is not possible to visualize all states for a given problem. Also, the resources of the computer systems are limited to handle huge state space representation, but many problems in AI take the form of state space search. So many problem in AI takes the form state space search. So the पढ़ लीजिए, the state might be legal board. The state space is configuration of possible states. When we don't have an algorithm which tells us definitely how to negotiate the state space, we need to search the state space to find an optimal path from a start state to goal state. So you have somewhere, you open it, which is called a start state, and then you have to go to the goal state. And sometimes you may know the goal state, sometimes you may not know the goal state. So this is all searching in the process, looking for the solution of problem through a set of possibility. So this has check whether the current state is the goal state or not. जब आप चेक कर रहे हो, ओपन करके स्टार्ट करना शुरू कर देते हो, then you say, is it a goal state or not goal state? Expand the current state to generate the new set of states. Choose one of the new states. Follow BFS, DFS, etc. Repeat step 1 to 3 until the goal state is reached or there are no more states referred. Then you about it, or you take what is the final result you take and use the, because for example you may not get accurate result, but you may get most satisfying result in AI. That's where the search processes are there. If you don't get the goal, you may get not the goal, but you may get some value which may be satisfying, generally of general use, which may be helpful. So, competence, a search algorithm is said to be complete if it guarantees to return a solution if exists. Optimally, admissibility, if a solution found for an algorithm is guaranteed to be the best solution among all other solutions, then such a solution for is said to be an optimal solution. Then time complexity, if it is a raised to power something, that is not correct. But if it is multiples of something, then it's okay. Addition of something, it is okay. Space complexity, again, space complexity, if it is too much for memory of the computer, that's not good. So this is the search algorithm. Unformed, unformed search, informed search. Unformed search is breadth first search, uniform cost search, depth first search, depth limited search, iterator deepening, depth first search, uninformed and blind search. Best first search, A star search. This is informed search. Okay, so that's where we'll do uninformed search, informed search. These are the two things. Uninformed search is called brute force search because आपको कुछ पता नहीं है. Blind search है. Exhaustive search is there. So it is called brute force because it assumes no additional knowledge other than how to traverse the search tree and how to identify the leaf node and goal node. That's all. So that this search ultimately examines every node in the tree until it finds a goal. Informed search is also called heuristic or guided search. These are the search techniques where additional information about the problem is provided in order to guide the search in a specific direction. A heuristic is a method that might not always find the best solution, but is granted to find a good solution in reasonable time. By sacrificing completeness, it increases efficiency. So informed search that way is much better because it provides, even if it's not providing the full goal or final excellent search, but it provides a good solution to in the reasonable time which will there. So then you can see uninformed search, informed search. These are the basic things. So no information path, the path cost to go to find solution, most efficient, and all this you can go through this and all that you can find out. Okay. Then differentiate the uninformed and informed search. Formula, that's what we're studying. You will know a formula, the search problem in the form of state space. Explain the difference between the various uninformed search methods, BFS, DFS, IDDFS, binary indexing search. Evaluate the various uninformed search algorithm with respect to time, space, and optimally admissibility criteria. Explain informed search such as best first search and A star algorithm. और A star के और भी थोड़ा algorithm बढ़ जाता है, that we'll see this. So formulary search in a state space. So a state space is a graph BE where B is a set of nodes and E is a set of arcs, where each arc is directed from one node to another node. V is a node, is a data structure that contains, and E is arc. So that's what, say, a goal test predicates is applied to a node. The cost of solution is the sum of the arc cost on the solution path and all that. State space search and all that. So that's where you'll see this. This is a simple program which is written there. So open and then close on something and all that. That you will see close on something. So that we are open on certain thing. That you will see the diagram and you will see understand it. Yeah. For example, this is depth first search. So breadth first search. पहले breadth ब्रेड्थ को ले रहा है। तो रूट है, पहले ऐसे ये जो डॉटेड लाइन दिखा रही है, एरो दिखा रही है, ऐसे सर्च कर रहा है, एंड दिस इज द गोल नोड। सो दैट्स हाउ इट डज। आप पीछे से पढ़ लो, यू कैन रीड दिस optimal address, space complexity, time complexity, completeness, ये open node, closed nodes, आप आगे आएंगे, that will show you that. अच्छा ये देखिए, ये है, let's example of see how the algorithm works. This is consider the following graph in figure 1 and its corresponding state space is set this in figure 2. So this is figure 1 A. Here A is the opening state. Here you see A is opening state. State space free, it opens here at A. A जो dark है उस पर second figure पर let me show you. ये this is the dark space which is open space. Okay, this this tree has been replaced by this. This is the proper, and this is the goal state. G is the goal state. G is the goal state. D. These are the goal states. These are two are goal states and all that. And initially open contains only one node. A is open. Then ओपन ई डी जी है, इसमें देखिए ये ओपन हो गए हैं और ये क्लोज हो गए, ए बी सी डी आर क्लोज्ड। इसमें ए ओपन है, बाकी सारे क्लोज्ड है। इसमें ए बी सी डी आर क्लोज्ड, बाकी सब these open, E D G C are open. So that's where rest are all open for search. Now this is BC open हो गए हैं and closed is A के साथ सब। इसमें DGC open, DGCF, DGCH, these are open and close A B C D E, ये सारे close हो गए। So that's the type of thing which comes. This is open CDE are open and AB are closed. इसमें GCBF are open, rest are all closed. So that way you can keep on going for this. And time and capability best for search में अगर B है 1 plus B बीच का and all that, the result is this much is the nodes which are the space complexity. Okay, B children, each non-leaf node has B children and branching factor and all that. So complete search tree of depth is this one. Time complexity is again B raised to power 10. For example, these are 12, 10 children and 12 depth. So क्या है 1 plus 10, this is 10 into 12, this makes it of the order of 10 to 12. Nodes in the complete search tree. There are so many nodes will be considered in this tree. So the space complexity will be of the order of B raised to power D. 1 plus B square B3, BD will be the highest, so of the order of BD. Because B square B cube तो छोटे हैं, because B raised to power D is the largest number, so that will be the space complexity. B is finite, optimal, cost is 1 and all that. So it is advantage is क्या है? But for search has same advantage as given below, that will never get trapped exploring one delay. It is guaranteed to find a solution of if one exists. Disadvantage क्या है? Time complexity and space complexity are of the order of B raised to a D, that is exponential time. This is very hurdle. AI nodes are to be generated in BFS, so even unwanted nodes are to be remembered stored in queue, which is no practical use of search. Now, depth first search ले लो. Depth first search में ये देखो, depth first, depth, then ये, then ये, then ये, and so on. That is what पहले depth करते हैं search, तो उससे करते हैं, फिर वापस आते हैं, फिर उससे depth करते हैं, फिर उससे जाते हैं, फिर depth ऐसे. So this is depth first search. This is the goal state. Depth first search tree. In depth first search, we go as far down as possible into the search tree graph before picking up an alternative, trying alternative. It works by always the returning descendant of the most recently expanded node until some depth cuts off its reach and then back. जैसे यहाँ देखिए, यहाँ गया, यहाँ से कट हो गया, इसके बाद है तो बाकी यहाँ फिर बी से फिर कर दिया. तो बाद में फिर ए से भी कर सकता है, एंड सो ऑल्सो, अगर ए के भी चिल्ड्रन है. ये सारा सर्च फॉर डेप्थ फॉर सर्च, ये ऐसे ऐसे बैक, ऐसे ऐसे बैक, ऐसे इधर से ऐसे ऐसे, फिर वापस ऐसे. So this is the type of search it does. It has unnecessarily nodes also, even if it's not a goal stage and all that. तो ये तुम्हारा प्रोग्राम है, डेप्थ फर्स्ट सर्च कहते हैं. Properties of depth first search. Number of nodes generated is b raised to power m, if m is the number of this and all that. Performance, time complexity is b raised to power m, space complexity is bm, and algorithm is complete if b is finite. Algorithm isn't optimal. So space is the advantage of DFS as compared to BFS. Because space में it's a b raised to power m, whereas there in depth first search it was b raised to power d. It was space was b raised to power d, exponential था. It is here b multiplied by m. So it is a space is better here. So advantage, if depth first search finds solution without exploring much in path, then the time and space is taken will be very less. The advantage of depth first search is that memory requirement is only linear with respect to search graph. This is contrast with breadth first search, which requires more space. So that's what we have seen all that. The problem with the approach is if there is a node close to root but not in first few subtrees explored by depth first search, then depth first search reaches the node very late. Also, depth first search may not find shortest path and all that. That's the disadvantage and all that. So then iterative deepening depth first search. So iterative deepening depth first search neither suffers the drawback of BFS nor DFS. On trees, it takes the advantage of both the strategies. It has both the advantage of depth first search and mid first search. It begins by performing depth first search to depth of 0, then depth of 1, depth of 2, and so on until a solution is found at some maximum depth is reached. It is like breadth first search in that it explores a complete layer of new nodes at each iteration before going to next layer. It is like DFS for single iteration. So that's the IDFS is the goal is there that you can see that. So this is the A is the iterative deepening the step ऐसे जाता है, फिर then we will see how it goes. ये पहले limit ऐसे करता है, then it goes like this and all that. तो आगे देखिए ये dark है, this goes to this goes to this, and then get the solution. Yeah, I treat a deepening set I L is equal to 3, L is equal to 2, and limit here ultimately sees and goal, it reaches the goal and all that. So that's the time and space complexity of IDFS is BD, this or सिर्फ D है. The space complexity is only D, whereas time complexity is large. it can be shown that depth first iterator deepening is symmetrically optimal among brute force tree search. So please note that in general, iterator deepening is preferred uninformed search method when there is a large search space. So that's what it is. Advantages are there. It combines the benefit of both BFS and DFS. It guaranteed to find a shortest path solution. It is preferred uninformed search method when the search space is large and the depth of solution is not known. So disadvantage क्या है? Main drawback of it is that if it repeats all the work from the previous phase, then it performs wasted computation before reaching the goal depth. The time complexity is exponential, which is very large. So you can say depth first search, breadth first search. Many solutions exist. Some solutions are known to be shallow, space is limited, and the shortest solution path is required. That's the advantage. IDDFS is the best search process. Here also space is better. Here not space is not better. Now bidirectional search. Both way. That means a goal से भी search करे और से भी search करेंगे. The search is used when problem has a single goal state that is given explicitly and all the node generation operators have the inverse. Because सारे में inverses है, उल्टा भी हो सकता है. So ये है. ये for example, this is root. It comes here, it breaks. It's a goal here, goal state. It breaks here. So it breaks here intersection node part, so that then we can say it searches very fast by that. We have node on as the start root node, and node 16 is the goal state. The algorithm divides the search tree into two subtrees. So from start node 1, we do it forward search, and the same time we do backward search from the goal state 16. The forward search traverses 1, 4, 8, and 9, whereas the backward search traverses 16, 12, 10, and 9. We see both forward and backward search meet at node 9, called the intersection node. So the total path traced by forwarding search and path traced by the backward search is the optimal solution. This is how the BS algorithm is implemented. Bi-direction it is implemented. So this is bi-direction search uses BS search, bi-direction search uses various techniques like DFS, BFS, depth limited search, etc. It is efficient and requires less memory. Disadvantage: implementation of the bidirectional search is difficult. In bidirectional search, one should know the goal state in advance. Practically inefficient due to additional overhead to perform insertion operation of each point of search. So insert करना पड़ता है. So that's why it is. So there are more advantages than this. Time complexity is B d by 2. It's a half of what is for the depth first search and breadth first search. So time complexity is d by 2. Space complexity is d by 2. Optimal, yes, if step cost is uniform in both forward and backward. So this is very good. Comparison from unpreferred search this, ये देख लो, BFS, DFS, IDF and this. So इसमें time complexity भी half है. इसमें space complexity is worse than DFS and IDF. बाकी सब ठीक है. सिर्फ time complexity is half of this, whereas space complexity is DFS and IDF is better, but it is better than BFS, but other thing is good. Okay, sorry, example here. Now we talk about informed search. This is heuristic because you don't know the goal state. Search is inefficient in most cases because they do not have any domain-specific knowledge about goal state. Heuristic search uses domain-dependent information beyond the definition of the problem itself in order to search the space more efficiently. So this is what is the heuristic search. It's we have the following informed search algorithm: best first search, A star algorithm, iterative deepening A star. So these are the three set methods for the informed this. Heuristic is the function which is used in informed search and it finds the most promising path. It may not find the exact goal, but it will find a useful solution. Heuristic function estimates how close a state to the goal. It's represented by Hn, and it calculates the cost of the optimal path between the pair of the state. The heuristic method, however, might not always give the best solution, but it guarantees to find a good solution in reasonable time. This technique always uses to find solution quickly. So all these things, it provides a solution, which may not be the final solution, the exact solution, but it will be a useful solution. That's all what it is. So H Kolkata, LNG distance Kolkata and Guwahati. So for example, suppose you want to find a shortest path from Kolkata to Guwahati, then heuristic for Guwahati may be straight line distance between Kolkata and Guwahati. That's it. Formulation, this and all that, so that you can go through. This is the initial state, this is the action, this is the goal state. Closed, best first search. Best first search uses an evaluation function Fn that gives an indication of which node is to expand next for each node. Every node is in a search space has an evaluation function that you can see. Greedy first search, A dot search. The following two lists open and close are maintained. Open and close are maintained. Greedy first best search algorithm always select the path which appears best at the moment. So Fn is equal to Gn. The Hn estimate the cost from node n to the goal, and Gn is okay. Hn is the estimate cost from the node n to this. Gn is from the goal to the state. ये सारा प्रोग्राम है. Advantage the best first search. Best first search can switch from best first search, breadth first search, depth first search, thus gaining the advantage of both the algorithms. This algorithm is more efficient than best first search and depth first search. Both algorithms से better है. Disadvantage क्या है? Chances of getting stuck in a loop are higher. It can behave as an organized depth first search in the worst case scenario. Example that consider the following example. Straight line distance from N to goal. So HSLD, straight line distance is A to H is this, B to G is this, C to G is this, D to G is this is F to goal. So this is A to goal, this F to goal. So इसको अब the maximum distance 40 है, इसको कैसे आप A, B, C, D से कैसे यूज करना है? That's what is done. Goal to goal is 0. So this is A, B, C, D, B, D, D. Explanations are as follows. Initial open list starts with state start A and closed list with empty, and so on. You can see that, so that ultimately you will find the open and closed state, so that this finds the goal state. ये फार्मूला, ये प्रोग्राम है, उसमें से you can find. ये गोल नोड है, उससे these are all goal node, किसी पर भी आ जाएगा तो goal, because it doesn't give you the exact goal, but it gives the approximate search graph, approximate solution which is best solution. ये सारा नोड्स वगैरह बताए हुए हैं. तो A star algorithm is again, ये दिखे, Fn is equal to Gn plus Hn. This is Fn, estimate cost of the cheapest solution. Hn is cost to reach node n from start state. Gn, cost to reach from node n to goal node. So that's this is the final thing. So that's what from goal node, from open stage, and this is the estimate cost for the cheapest solution, both Gn plus Hn. HN is admissible, then search will find optimal solution. So that's where you can look up at this. This is HN, FN is equal to GN plus HN. This is the program. Closed, open, list, and all that. You can see that. तो आगे है एक और प्रोसेस है result of a Prowler reduction search. So Prowler reduction search is broadly defined as a planning how best to solve a problem that can be recursively decomposed into sub-problems. So that solution becomes easier because when you have a problem, big problem, उसके छोटे छोटे problem बना लो तो उसके solution आसानी से निकल जाते हैं. So this is goal: get a bike. Goal: steal a high bike. Goal: get some money. Goal: buy a bike. Supposing you need a bike. So these are the get a bike. Your goal is to get a bike and arc. So this one say either you steal a bike, get some money and buy it. So this is and R graph. That's what it is shown here. Buy a bike and buy a bike. Graph with heuristic value. This is bike, this and all that. This is arc. This is node. This is arc and all that. So you can go through that. Then A O star algorithm. Our real life situation cannot be exactly decomposed in either AND tree or OR tree. So open and closed of A star algorithm, we use a single structure graph in AO. So this is one algorithm AO, set G star, and so on. You can see cost revision, this and all that. Advantage of AO algorithm: note that AO will always find a minimal cost solution if one exists. And it's a memory bound heuristic search is there. Iterative deepening, iterative deepening A star is there. ID A star, इसका भी further A star को करा हुआ है. Perform depth first search limited to some F found and so on. So for A star. Analysis of ADA ये सारा ऐसे है. So recursive best first search. So idea of recursive best first search is to simulate A star search with OBD memory, BD memory, where B is the branching factor and D is the solution depth. It is a memory-bound, simple recursive algorithm that works like a standard best first search, but only takes up linear space. There are some things that make it different from recursive depth first search. It keeps track of F, that is the value of the best alternative path that can be found from an ancestor of the current node, instead of continuing indefinitely down the current path. ऐसे नहीं जाता रहता, नीचे जाता है path पर, but it finds it. So RBF has mimicked the operation of the standard best first search algorithm, and IBF have index this keep track of the F value. So that type of thing is different for that. So this is the program for this, and this is the code or A from that. So that covers up this unit. So it's basically depth first search, breadth first search, depth limited search, uniform cost search, iterative deepening, depth first search, bidirectional search. The following terms are frequently used in each algorithm. That is goal state, path, step cost, state. completeness, optimally admissibility, space complexity, time complexity. So you have this one. You have seen already BD by half, BD by half, yes, no, yes, 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 no, no, yes, yes. So these are the, so bidirectional search is the most efficient except for space. So since space is no problem now, so time is the only thing. So this time is half of b raised to by d by 2. So it's exponential, but half the time taken from the rest of this. So that's why, and it has a yes count for everything. So this is good. This is excellent. So you can see the examples. These are rich and night book, all these things there. Alkamar, Artificial Intelligence, IK International Publication. This is what Patterson's book is because this is I was using Rich and Knight book because Rich herself, she's a lady. She has written done a lot of research on this, but that's old 93 edition. अब latest edition आया होगा. But Patterson की edition 96 97 के थे वो भी. Okay, now, predicate and proposition logic is the basic concept of the AI. Solution करने के लिए, so you can always take predicate and all that. So to do this, we continue or we take rest for some time. Do we continue? Okay, ready now? Hello?
Yes, sir, ready.
Okay. So predicate and proposition logic, these are the two different things. The introduction, objective, and proposition logic, syntax of proposition logic, atomic propositions, compound proposition. Then logical connectives are conjunction, disjunction, negation, implication, biconditional. वो एरो लगाए हुए जो करें वो देखेंगे आप. Then semantic में negation, truth table, conjunction, distinction, bidirection and all that, truth table with three variables and so on. Then proposition rules of the inference, modus ponens, modus tollens, disjunctive syllogism, addition, simplification, conjunction, hypothetical syllogism, absorption, constructive dilemma, and proposition rules of replacement, validity and satisfaction. Then there is a predicate logic, predicate inference, proof systems, natural deduction, and proposition resolution, causal form, and deterministic satisfactory of that answer. So these are the things which are talked about this. So Boolean algebra से start करते हैं, वहां से true and false हो जाता है. So that's what it is that you have discrete mathematics आपने पढ़ा है, उसमें से देखिए truth table is a tool to find out all possible outcome of propositions. Truth table was also discussed in MCS212. So that's what you say. Then comes objectives. After going through this unit, you should be able to understand the meanings of proposition logic, difference between atomic and compound proposition, no different type of connective, they are associated semantic and corresponding truth table, define propositional rules of inference and replacement, differentiate between valid and satisfiable. देखिए AI में हमेशा ध्यान रखिए AI doesn't give you the final solution. It gives you good solution. That's all. It gives satisfying solution. It doesn't give you, may not give you the perfect solution. That is, it may not reach the goal, but it will give you a solution which is as good as goal, not maybe a little inferior, but very satisfying. That's why AI is being used all over now for administrative, for teaching, for production, for everything. All, even medical surgery and all these things be are used. So that's where you see this health sector, factory sector, uh, any sector you take in the present world scenario, that's AI becomes applicable. So that's where the AI has become very, very viral now. Apart from the application of logics and methods, it also helps in various other areas. That's, for example, consider the following statement: Earth revolves around the sun. That's true. Water freezes at 100 degrees Celsius. That's wrong. So it's a false true that an hour has 3600 seconds. True. Two is the only even prime number. That's true. Mercury is the closest planet. That's wrong. USA lies on the continent of North America. That's true. 1 plus 2 is 4 is false, so on. 15 is the prime, moon rises in the morning and sets in the evening, wrong. Delhi is the capital of India, is right. So that's why I say for all above statements, the, these are, you have said, 10th statement is also true. Now consider the following statement. What is your name? A plus B is 5, so you calculate B, calculate A in terms of B, but you should know B. Who is the Prime Minister of India? P is less than 5, and so on and so forth. So this one is for all the above statement, we can't say anything about their truthfulness. So they are not proposition. ये जो है, why they are not proposition? A plus 5 is B. Neither B is known to us nor A is known to us. Therefore, this is not a statement. What is your name? We don't know. All these things are there. Who is the Prime Minister of India at the moment? We don't know who is the Prime Minister of India at that stage when you are talking. P is less than 5. What is P? So these are the statements which are, have no truth values in that. Okay. So proposition statement can be either true or false. They can't be both simultaneously. They can't be true and false both. Proposition logic is also referred to as binary logic. Boolean algebra says 0 and 1. 1 is true, 0 is false. So that's the symbols of this X, Y, Z, chota or P, Q, R, bada. These are the used for representing logical and proposition. X, Y, Z is for logic and proposition P, Q, R. Any proposition or statement which is always valid, true, is known as tautology. Any proposition or statement which is always invalid, false, is known as contradiction. So that you can see that a table listing all the possible truth values of proposition is known as truth table. Object relations, all these are defined well. So statements which are interactive, informative, or opinions such as where is Chandni Chowk located, Mumbai is good city to live in, result will be declared on 31st March are not propositions. So that type of thing is it. Whereas in the first statement we found are truth or false, these are the propositions. Now atomic proposition. Atomic proposition is 7 minus 3 is 4. Venus is the closest planet to the sun on solar system. It is an atomic proposition. This is also true fact and all that. Compound statement, the sun is very bright today and is very hot outside. They are combining two things. Diana studies in class 8 and her school is in Krolbag. These are the two statements. Diana studies in class 8 and her school is in Krolbag. So two statements are studied. So that's how are you, which of the following are proposition, right? This how are you is not a proposition. Sachin Tendulkar is one of the best cricketer in India. That's true. Ramnath Kovind is number 10th and current president of India. So that's a compound. Lord Ram of the kingdom of Ayodhya is an example of people's king. So is an example, and they are saying. So that's it. So these are the all the things you can see. Uh, Wing Commander Rakesh Sharma is the only Indian citizen to travel in space till date. Ab Group Captain Shukla is also traveled there. So that's where I say, where do you live? That's also not a proposition. Conjunction A and B. This is and this is A and B. उल्टा B जो होता है and होता है is connective A known as conjunction R A and B. It is a proposition or operation which is true only when both the constant propositions are true. If A and B both true, then it is. Even if one of the input propositions is false, then whole system is false. And adding is a proposition. Say for example, Ram is a playboy. Ram lives to play football. So A and B is Ram is a playboy and he loves to play football. So that's the compound proposition there. Disjunction A or B. This is or ulta B or बन जाता है. So with connected B is known as disjunction or A and no, A or B. It is proposition which is true when at least one of the constituent propositions are true. The output is false only when both the input propositions are false. It is also referred to or. ये जो A and B गलत लिखा हुआ है, A और B लिखना चाहिए था यहाँ पर. So this is wrong. So here you can report this to A or B. RA is the proposition. Example, I will go to her home or she will come to my home. I will go to her home, she will come to home, or A or B, I will go to her house or she will come to my house. So that's the type. Negation, नेगेटिव ये ऐसे होता है, वो डाल के नेगेटिव ऐसे, not A or not A with this connective is known as negation of the A. The purpose of negation is to negate the logic of given proposition. If A is true, the negation will be false. And if it is false, negation will be true. A university is closed. Not A university is not closed. So that type of thing, the implication. This is A implied B. ये arrow जो है, single arrow A implied B is connective known as A implies B. It's also called if-then proposition. If-then proposition. Here, the second proposition is a logical consequence of the first proposition. For example, if Mary scores good in examination, I will buy a mobile phone for her. In this case, it means that if Mary scores this, so if you score above 90%, you will get a mobile phone. So A is you score over 90%, you will get a mobile. A implies B. If you score above 90%, you will get a mobile phone. So this is implied because if it cannot be A and B, it is A implied B. A implied B, which also says if then, अगर ये हो जाएगा तब तुम्हें ये होगा. If you succeed, this is this. बाई कंडीशनल, ये डबल टाइप एरो जो होता है, दिस इज बाई कंडीशनल और इफ एंड ओनली इफ proposition. For example, you will succeed in life if and only if you work hard. You will succeed in life, you work hard. You will succeed in life if and only if you work hard. That's the type of thing which is there. First matter, so this you can check of all these things, and semantic. Universally true or universally false, जो भी होता है. Propositions are declarative. Sun rises in the west, it is false. Sugar is sweet is correct. Ram has a PhD degree, we don't know because we don't know about Ram has a PhD or not. So that's agar Ram has a PhD, it is true. If Ram doesn't have PhD, he is still doing PhD, he is false. Are called atomic formula or atoms. In this case, the truth value of P is false. The truth value of Q is true, and truth value of R, though not known yet, is exactly one of true or false, depending upon whether Ram is actually PhD
Excuse
or
me,
not.
sir, that atomic statements, they cannot be broken
Just
down
1 minute.
into smaller statements.
Just 1 minute. हाँ हाँ बेटे रहीम.
हेलो.
हाँ हाँ रहीम.
हाँ सर, ये बुक करना है सर आपको.
बेर अभी थोड़ी देर में हाफ एन आवर आफ्टर दैट आई विल कॉल यू, बट अभी स्नैपडील ले लीजिए सेकंड लेक्चर का.
ठीक है सर।
So I'll call you and tell you where के book करने के लिए.
ठीक है।
Excuse me,
हाँ,
sir.
बोलो बेटे question.
ये पूछ रहे थे कि atomic formulas or atomic statements cannot be broken down into smaller statements. It is true, no?
Yes, that's the sun rises in the west. It cannot be broken into further statements, right?
Yes.
Sugar is sweet, cannot be broken further into further statement. Ram has a PhD, cannot be broken into this statement. ठीक है?
Right, sir.
These are atomic statements. The logical connectives are used to frame compound proposition, and they are as follows. Disjunction is a PRQ. So all these you can read this. These are straightforward. There is no difficulty in this. So this is various signs given. This is implied, and both these appear in a statement. We first apply the leftmost this, or both third in order. For example, note that inclusive R or exclusive R. This is inclusive R or this is inclusive R. This is exclusive R, and this is this one PRQ. This we first apply R and then apply this. तो पहले लेफ्ट अप्लाई करते हैं, then second अप्लाई करते हैं. For example, here first will apply implied, then will apply both by directional. तो ये देखिए negation truth table है. F0 truth इसका this alpha not alpha. It's a
False का true हो जाएगा, true का false हो जाएगा.
True false. कंजक्शन यहाँ भी फॉल्स ट्रू आप देख लीजिए, सारे हैं कंजक्शन एंड डिसजंक्शन और सारे फॉल्स. टेबल बना हुआ है. Some pairs of parentheses may be dropped for simplification. For example, A or B, A or B and A implied B. Separately, we can omit the use of parentheses by assigning priorities in the increasing order. So this is what पहले ये कर अप्लाई करते, फिर ये अप्लाई करते, फिर ये अप्लाई, ये this is so that type of thing which are common. Well-formed formula is again another important thing. Is not A is true when A is false. Not A is false when A is true. The well-formed formula not A is called the negation of A. So that well-formed formula A and B is true if A and B are both true. Otherwise, the well-formed formula A and B is false. The well-formed formula A and B is called the conjunction of A and B, and so on. You can see that. Draw the truth table for all these things, and then you can see that. Proposition rule of inference. We need intelligent computer based on the concept of artificial intelligence, which are able to infer new knowledge and all that. That you can see that. Modus ponens, if A implies B, A are true, then B is also true. So that is what has been written. Modus ponens is also referred to as implication, elimination, because it eliminates the implication A not B and results is only the proposition B, and so on. Then modus tollens is again not B or not, then not A is not true. Modus tollens is also referred to denying the consequent as denying the truthfulness of the consequent, so on. So you can just read addition, simplifications and all that. Conjunction, hypothetical syllogism, absorption, unstructured dilemma, propositional rules of the replacement. So that you can just go through that. Replacement rules are there. So you can the equivalent properties and all these. Just the de Morgan's law, associated law, double negation, all these things. You can just read it and see that. Validity and satisfactority, again, you can go through, you can see that table there. You can read. This is our truth table there, so you can read. So now, addition to introduction to periodic logic. The periodic logic is a higher version. This proposition function or predicate a variable in a sentence px involves becomes a proposition when we give a definite value from the set of value it can take. We usually denote such function px, qx, etc. The set of value x can take is called the universe discourse. So, for example, let me give you example where px is the sentence, x is the class, u is the set of children, or u is the set of all children. So now suppose we take the negative of the proposition we have just stated. Wouldn't it be there is no child in the class? We could symbolize this as for all x in U, Qx, where x ranges over all children and Qx denotes the sentence x is not the class. So Gx is equal to no Px. Okay, so that is Qx is equal to not Px. We have mathematical symbol for quantifier for all, which is this is ulta v with cut in the middle. So the proposition above can be written as exclusive x and ux or qx exclusive x u. An example of use of existential quantifier is the two statement. So this is e उल्टा ई करके है एक्सक्लूसिव वन वैल्यू एंड वो टोटल वैल्यू हो जाता है. So you can see this the symbols are important. So existential quantifier and total quantifier. Yes. This is one of the rules for the negation that relate the total and accidental. The two rules are this. U is the set of value that x can take. To sum up, a proposition is a specialized statement, whereas predicate is a generalized statement. Okay, so that's what say weather is not hot today and it's windy than yesterday. So consider the following statement. Kids will go to park only if it is not hot. If kids do not go to the park, then they can play near pool. If kids play near pool, then we can offer them juice. Let the statement be represented using literal as well. This weather is not hot today. So A H आ गया. It is windy than yesterday. Wind आ गया. Kids will go to park K. They will can play near pool P. We can offer them juice J. So given statement can be interpreted as H and W. Weather is not hot today, but it is windy. So H and W. So then K equal to the sign not H. Kids will go to the park. No, it is windy than yesterday. Okay, that is B is kids will go to park. क्या कहाँ लिखा हुआ park तो नहीं है. Kids ये तो गलत है. अच्छा, kids will go to, okay, weather लिख रहा है. Kids will see if it's not hot. Weather is not hot today. It's a weather is hot. So condition was kids will go to park only if it is not hot. Okay, so kids will go if it is not hot, and not kid to the pool. Pool, we can offer them juice. Then if they come to pool, we can offer them juice. Not kids go to park, then they go to the pool. So then we offer them juice. So that's what is the statement. H and W, K and not H, not K and P, P and J. So that's the type of thing which is. A says we always tell the truth, and B says A and I are opposite types. What types of A and B are? Let us start by assuming A is a truth teller. What A says true, B is truth teller. When B says it is true, A and B are of opposite types. Why? How can be opposite type? Just 1 minute. Let us start by assuming A is a truth teller. What A says is true. Therefore, B is truth teller. What B says is true. Okay. Then A, B are opposite types. Opposite type कैसे हो गया? Then A says is true. A is truth teller. When A says is true, B is truth teller. What B says is true. A and B are opposite types. I should explain to you later. I'm not able to see that this is correct. But anyway, I think they have written it. It must be correct. So I'll look into it and then let you know tomorrow, next week. This is okay. This is contradiction because our premise A, B are both truth tellers. The assumption we started with is false. So that's right. Okay, now it's all right. The assumption we started with is false. A always tells lies, and when A has told you is a lie, B always tells lie. So A and B are of the same type. That is, both of them always lie. So that's the type of thing. So that's the assumption was incorrect. Let's now consider the problem of showing that statement is false. So you can see that all the things are there. If book X is literally true, then Earth was made in 6 days. If Earth was made in 6 days, then carbon dating is useless, and scientists, researchers are liars. Scientists, researchers are not liars. The book X is literally true, hence God doesn't exist. Let us say book X is literally true. The Earth was created in 6 days. Carbon dating techniques are useless. Scientists research are Fred S. God exists. So therefore, the statement in the given argument are symbolically represented. B to implies E. Book is true. E implies C and S. That is C, carbon dating, and scientists are fraud. And not S. And B, not G. So using modus ponens on 1 and 4, we get expression E. Using modus ponens on 2nd and 6, we get expression C and C. Using simplification on 7, we get expression S. Using addition on this, we get expression S or negative G. Using disjunctive syllogism, we get X and G. This last statement is what is to be proved. So third and seventh are contradicts which either in above direction. In general, if we come across two statements like S and not S that contradict each other during the process of deduction, we can deduce any statement, even if the statement can never be true in any way. So we can assume that any statement is true if both S and this are already happened in the process derivation. So proof statement, उसका देख लीजिए sequence of statement, this and all that. Exam proof statement, this natural deduction and all this. आप ये पढ़िए कैसे के तो वो पूरा हो गया जो मैंने कहा था कल बताऊंगा. That is because that is the assumption was wrong. So this you can read it. Natural deduction, okay. इसमें वो भी आता है कि somebody was Roman was human and humans are mortals and all that. Double negation, modern this, proposition resolution, neutral destruction, ये आप सारा पढ़ सकते हैं, क्लॉजल फॉर्म और पढ़ लीजिए. सिंबल का ध्यान रखना है. Determining unsatisfiability. Just go through this, you will understand it. Barry will go, game is over. It is head, Lisa wins. Let it is head, H is it is head, L, Lisa wins. M, Mary will go, game is over. Rewriting the given knowledge of H or L, this, you see this straightforward, this has some, all this. These are examples given. Truth table, finance, false truth table. First introduce notation set for given knowledge base. Mary goes to school, Mary eats lunch, it is Friday, corresponding knowledge base is ABIS, this, GKV2, this, conclusion F is good well. Steps 1, 2, 3, 4, all these are their negation execution. So these are the things which are there so that you can read, and if you have any questions, we can discuss it next. You can go to the truth table, you can go to these statements and all that. And in practical calculus, predicate, there are statements like um, uh, every every human being is mortal, and so and so is mortal, therefore so and so is human being, so it is mortal. So that type of statements are done. So proof is required and solutions are done and all these things. So this must be there in some examples there. No examples given. So I think that closes this block 1. So we'll start with block 2 and block 3 next time. And next time we'll do more units, because now in the initial stage we'll do 2 units and then we'll do 3 units each. So that your course is covered properly. And in big data, I don't have to use this because that is a lot of programming is required. So you look into it yourself. There is a lot of Python programming there, and you do it. Okay.
Right, sir.
अभी रहिए, मैं उसका फोटो लेता हूँ आपके
Okay,
अटेंडेंस
sir.
की.